All right, everybody. Thursday, March 5th. Oh, let's hear what you're thinking. What are you noticing about your thoughts? What's been happening? And questions or anything, just what you're aware of. So, um, Jess, how about if you start? Except for now, we can't hear you. There you are. Are you able to share, Jess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So just listening to everybody talking, well, not everybody, but a little bit talking, and feeling that it's not working feeling, which may not be your words, Laura, but it's like, I don't know if I care that it's not working. I'm having that, I'm eating, I'm not following is it 2 and 7 or 3 and 7? See, I don't even know.
Yeah, 3 and 7.
So on the one hand, my brain is feeling my mind is feeling pretty peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm still doing these other behaviors, eating too much.
Eating too much. I was going to say, where's your proof that it isn't working?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So eating till I'm too full, eating things that are supposed to be bad. It's almost like I'm like the other day I was having chips. Ooh, and I felt like, where's my shame? I was looking for it. It's like I'm testing these foods to see if I'm going to feel the shame.
Wow.
Yeah. And so far, so good. I mean, I'm looking at the sausage rolls and the flappy arms, and I'm just seeing them at the moment. I'm not beating up on myself about it.
Which maybe that is different. I mean, for me, I hear it and I think,
yeah,
it's working. I don't think it's not. I mean, when you've had shame, like even thinking, where's the shame? Okay, like I should be ashamed, or I don't know, I'm used to being ashamed, or you just the whole system of thinking about, committing a crime, sinning, being gluttonous, something wrong with us, there's lots of things that just, I mean, to sit and kind of return over and over again to, now who would it be without the thought, I absolutely must change. So I gotta get thin, and I can't eat whatever I want. Those two primary ones, right? And then all the other ones that we're watching, like, that it's dangerous or a sin, or like whatever. Shame always reminds me of super embarrassment or rejection, or kind of sin-ish, so.
And I noticed that I was, in the absence of weight shame and body shame, I noticed that my teeth were yellow today. And I thought, I've never really thought that before. Oh, am I replacing? Am I trying to find something? Something's wrong. My teeth are yellow. Oh, my teeth. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Very interesting. It's very profound, very powerful. So just knowing, just the body, just watching the body need to be right or healthy, or, and it's all, if you follow the trail of thinking, why do I know, where's my proof that it really does need to be a certain way? Like, what am I afraid of? How do I know it needs to be this way? Well, because usually if you follow that trail, it's because I'm going to die. I mean, even yellow teeth, it's like there's just a few steps in there, and then it's because I'm going to die, and we're just against death. It's just noticing the survival mechanism in us is against dying. But it really is okay. If it was okay to, have like, I don't, whatever's there's change constantly running. And So things always moving, never supposed to stay a certain way. We're going to change and morph, but it's really interesting. Yeah. Just watching them both kind of happen at the same time. But anyway, appreciate that's a good one. It's not working. All right. Okay. Teresa, how about you?
All right. So, interesting day today. I babysat and always busy and tiring. But I, after we did the meditation the other day on they judged me wrong, they judged me incorrectly. I was included on this group text with my husband's family, and it's so funny. It reminded me, oh, she doesn't like me. My sister-in-law does not like me. She's judged me wrong. She doesn't like me. So man, just like
Wow.
trying to let that one go today, because when I'm chasing two boys around, there's no time to sit. And then when they were napping, my daughter was like, Mom, I need to talk. And so I was chatting with her for a while, and she's having relationship man issues. And, then there's all like, I failed her. I've done something wrong. It should be different. She should be different. He should be different. Like, oh, okay, just let me go to bed now.
Well, anyway, it's great to see, do things where, oh, there's a lot of that going on. You get to test it out immediately.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Laura, how about you?
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see everybody. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen your faces, like we've been all together in the Brady Bunch room. Wow. It's interesting to hear what everybody thinks I've been saying compared to what's been going on in my head. I definitely see how I'm different. I have no idea where I'm going, and it's really scary. It's like I've stepped out into a dark fog, and I know there's light back there. At least I've been promised that there's light back there, but I can't see it. But I don't want to go backwards. And moments I have. At moments I thought, okay, I can do this other thing. Like I've said before, I can gain weight. I can lose weight. I can gain weight. I can lose weight. At least for half of my life, I can be happy that I'm thinner. But I'm never thin enough. So today, what you said on Marco Polo was perfect. And I just had a thought. I'll just wrap it up here, because this is what really hit me when I got home. I was sitting in the car, and I realized I could see so clearly that I bought into the story of that if I do not lose weight, if I do not control what I eat, they will not accept me. I will not be loved. And as I have eaten way too much today, really compulsively, I'm not listening to, I'm eating in my head, not my body whatsoever. I know I don't know how to eat. I know I don't know my body. I am just totally in this cycle of this story and reacting to it and just reacting to it. It was like, well, why would then I want to eat? Oh, yeah. Excuse my language. Fuck you. If you, and really, I don't say that very often, but if I have to be skinny for you all, not you, all of you as kids to love me, I don't want you to love me. And so, Mom, if being fat will keep them away, then you've taught me I don't want them anywhere near me. That is the child. That is what I found. And I need to do a worksheet on it, because it is so ingrained. It is so core issue. But I found it. I never would have found that without eating peace, without slowing down. And I am slowing down.
Beautiful.
And I think that's what it feels, just slowing down. It's not going to happen as fast as losing a pound a week or 2 pounds a week. It's not about losing weight, but I'm always about, let's get it done now. Let's hurry up and do it. Let's
Yeah.
get through the worksheet, 30-minute worksheet. I'm great at that. Let's get to the bottom point. Let's get relief. Let's get happy.
Yes. That's good.
It works that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Worksheets are great.
Yeah. Aw, wow.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
I'm sorry if I offended anybody with, well, anyway, yeah, yeah.
Abby, how about you?
Oh, thank you. No offense. I always ask the same thing too before I drop an F-bomb, but it's got to be said sometimes. It really does. I had two things floating through my head today. One was I'm not going to make the right decision. And this could apply to anything. I think I've mentioned it before, but it just keeps coming up. Like, I'm so afraid to make decisions about anything. So I'm like, oh my God, if I do the wrong one, if I make the wrong decision, then I'm going to have a bad reaction and the monster is going to come out, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, that was one of them. But the other one, the most recent one I was just dealing with, so I was doing a worksheet. It's a worksheet on my dad. And I realized that I can't really stand the feeling of anger, because I had this feeling. I was writing down in number 3, I was writing down, I'm so freaking angry. And then it was like, go eat something. And I didn't want to act on it, but it was literally, I was watching the thought, like, I am so angry, eat something. And it happened like twice in number 3, which I found fascinating. And there was no actual physical desire to eat, but it was that thought. So then I realized, okay, there's something about anger that I can't. It's like I want to either push it away, I want to get rid of it. So that's kind of what was floating around.
Yeah. Wow. So interesting. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Okay. Heidi's here. Hello, Heidi.
Hi, Grace. How are you?
Good.
So I'm having trouble getting you back. So I had it was almost funny. I was at work today and somebody had put cookies out on the table and they marked it, free. And I walked by and I looked at it and I said, it may be free to you, but it's going to cost me a lot if I So it was just like a funny thought, like not free to me. Just trying to take things like a little bit lighter instead of that heavy, like temptation again,
That's nice.
So
yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. And then
you.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I was thinking about is like how often, when I eat something when I'm not really hungry, I just always just use the excuse I need to comfort myself. And I'm supposed to be going to like this underlying what I'm comforting myself from. And even when I know what the underlying thing is, I don't like to think about it. I just I need this comfort now.
Oh, that's,
I need this comfort now. It's been a
that's a good one to notice.
thought that comes,
Yeah. That's great. And this is comfort.
And this is comfort.
Yeah. And maybe some of it is, but it's great to notice sometimes the same thing that begins as comfort, it doesn't continue as comfort.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to be with and question.
Yeah. And I had written to you about, that thought about mixing up food with love. So that really matches almost that.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a good insight. Yeah. Very powerful. Yeah. Really is. Yeah. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Maggie. Oh, Dee. Dee needs to go now. You might need to unmute yourself, Dee.
Hey.
There you are.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I gotta go before I lose my nerve here. Something I hurt my mouth with a nacho chip, like that got stuck between a tooth and my top of my mouth. And so I have a wound in my mouth. And it's very annoying because every time I eat, it hurts. And so it's making me very aware of how many times I eat.
Yeah.
And every time it hurts, I say, oh, well, okay, I need to remember not to just graze. I need to remember to plan better, plan a meal for the sake of not hurting myself. And I'm not able to do it. I just walk by the kitchen and I've got a handful of something and it's hurting. And I don't even put the handful down. I don't even say, oh, this hurts. I'm going to put these cashews down because it hurts. They're in my hand. So I hurt myself to finish eating the whatever's in my hand. So I'm annoyed, frustrated. And there you go.
That is really interesting. Every single one of us have had a thing sometime with a tooth. We were talking about teeth at some point, or something that makes it so you have to be aware of some part of the mouth part of your system. That is really interesting. Yeah. I had a thing like I strained my jaw and then it doesn't hurt. Like I can't feel it at all, which was maybe your kind of wound, except if I was chewing a hard thing. It's actually still there a little bit. So then I go, oh yeah, I'm chewing the hard thing. Yeah. And that's just interesting to notice, like anything I don't want to plan for, like I don't want to just eat applesauce or something that is okay right now. I don't want to do that. That'd be a good one to question. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. It's a great moment. It's like seeing that, holding that moment and like, why this is not really working right now. The hard thing or whatever, this thing I usually like. And I don't want to let go of it. Kind of like it makes me think of a dog taking it on a bone and you trying to get it out of its mouth. It's like, no. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. All right. Maybe we'll inquire something like that. Okay. And Maggie, hello.
Hi. Let's see. I noticed a lot today, being unconscious about food, just realizing like I might want a little break from what I'm doing and then just kind of look for something sweet or like something like a reward type of food, not really nutritious or, not like a meal kind of food, but like some sort of treat. So I guess I'm curious about that. And something that you mentioned in Marco Polo, I wish I wrote it down. Oh, I know what it was. You mentioned, the person that needed to lose 5 pounds for their job or something like that. And that, well, if you want that job, then do the work around losing 5 pounds or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if I'll be at the point where I can do that about my perceptions about health, and really distinguishing what I feel like my body would like to support it, to support my immune system, to support cleansing of anything from treatments that I've had, and to support my longevity, and so I'm curious about that. I'm curious about doing work around that too, because I've been bucking it. I've been really saying, okay, that's the healthy thing. I really don't want, like, it's like I'm revolting against it. And I have had moments where I really want the foods that feel better in my body, because I'm noticing the difference. You know, I am noticing my gums have actually improved. Like, I've had some gum issues, and they've actually improved over the past, I'd say, week and a half. So anyway, so that's where I'm at.
That's a beautiful, it's a wonderful thing. And I think it's very individual. It's great to notice. Like, I remember realizing there was a whole group of friends, like a little group of people that were all going on a fast together, special kind of fast where you're supposed to take clay and do something with your guts, and and I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't done anything like that in a long time. It was only a couple of years ago. And I even bought the supplies. This one friend's uncle runs the whole company or something and gets everything at cost. And okay, I'll do it. And it was like, you got all these bottles and potions and different unctions and stuff like that. And it all came in. I opened it all up. I started one day and I'm like, oh yeah, right. This isn't worth the peace of mind of my own peace of mind. Like, oh, and I could say I'm still there and unable to not to do something unusual or do a health protocol. And I just thought, well, obviously something's not in place that would be, it just doesn't feel worth it, like to threaten it, the way it was. Everybody's just in their own house. Nobody's really doing things together, questioning their thoughts or anything like that. And I'm not sure, but it's very interesting to get, so I just gave them all to the friend. You know what? You can have them. And no right or wrong about it. It's just noticing, because some of those people had a very wonderful experience. So maybe that's just my own personal thing. I love the balance so much. I'm like, it's one of the few times I felt like because I could feel the thing about, I don't know, just there's just a little bit too much emphasis on it or something for my own brain. But yeah, I think there's a balance though with finding it. I've certainly talked to people that like it.
Yeah, like that discernment of,
yes,
these people say this is good, and these people say this is good, and this will cleanse your body, but then this will, and this will, and this will, and oh, but does your body need cleansing? Like the whole gamut of that, but then discerning what's going to.
Yes, perfect word for it. Like really deliberate, like discernment, really bringing yourself and then, yeah. Beautiful. All right. So, something about I know we've done I can't stop, but you could do it on different moments. But like that thing where it's underway already, and you don't want to, like, I want to go get the comfort moment, or this is comforting. I need some comfort, or I'm got the cashews already in my mouth. I'm not going to stop, but I'm that wave of something, a movement. I need to continue this.
I shouldn't be doing this.
I shouldn't be doing this.
As I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And then, oh, look, I did it.
Yeah. So really good. Yeah, to watch I shouldn't be doing it. I mean, what's great to notice is you have to be assuming I'm doing it too. At all. But you don't have to be too cosmic. I shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, the bread is in the toaster. I shouldn't be doing this. The bread comes out of the toaster. It's on the counter. I'm slapping butter on it. I shouldn't be doing this.
Oh
The
my.
bread is in the mouth. Sorry if that was too visual for anybody, but
Perfect. I love it. Really good. Okay, let's do it. So
I
finding a
shouldn't be
moment.
doing this.
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing it. And see if you can find it very freshly from today. And if your mind shows you something from the past, that's okay too. But I shouldn't be doing it. All right. Is that true? You shouldn't be doing that. If you say yes, I mean, just noticing how you know, where's your proof? Why shouldn't you be doing it? And if you say yes, can you absolutely know that it's true? So what do people notice? I think it's very interesting to see, just to see without maybe if it sends you off into long explanations or thoughts, but how do you know you shouldn't be doing it? Like, why not? It's just, there's simple answers.
Weight gain and not weight loss.
These are forbidden foods in the past.
Mhm.
It hurts.
Not peaceful.
Mhm.
Compulsive.
Not hungry.
There's something wrong with what I want.
Mm. Mhm. That's a good one. It's like, I already know that, so I shouldn't do it. Yeah.
Anticipated regret.
All right. So given all that, just check in with, can you absolutely know that it's true? That what you're doing means all that? And can you know you shouldn't be doing it? So what happens when you think it? How do you react? I shouldn't be doing it.
Self-disgust.
Mm.
Sad.
Mm.
I get tense and panicky, kind of like, yeah, just the tension climbs and I start to feel like I need to control myself. And it's like a split second of images of past and future kind of going in my mind, but so quickly. It's like a split second. All negative, all just like a negative, heavy feeling.
Mm.
Feeling of hopelessness.
Mm.
Fear, fear, fear.
I feel shame. I feel small, bad. It's proof of why I deserve misery.
Mm.
I'm afraid I'm going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weak, still weak, was weak, will be weak.
Shame and guilt, disconnected completely from my body. Yeah, images of sneaking as a kid, trying not to get caught.
Mm.
How do you say it? Like not having access to something, like being withheld from.
Mm.
Rebellious.
So imagine really not doing it, because there'll be images in this, I shouldn't do it. So let's say suddenly everything stops, everything drops out of your hands. I don't know. Suddenly you don't do it. And just imagine that and see what that feels like and what you don't like about it. What you don't like about it.
Take away my choice.
Then I'm going to be obsessed about having it anyway, so I might as well just have it.
Mm. Mm.
The unsatisfied piece, like that joy that I was looking for isn't satisfied, or the sweetness isn't satisfied.
I don't know what to do with my head.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I need a distraction. I need another distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to deal with this, so I want to eat. I want my choice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's more fun than that.
Can be very helpful to see that moment without food. So, I mean, Dee, for some reason I like your moment because it's like actually, yeah, it's actually hurting physically, you know, in the mouth. So I shouldn't be doing it. If you imagine suddenly there's nothing hard and crunchy available, or food's gone. What feels alarming about that or not pleasant?
If all food is gone, or just the food we're focusing on in that moment.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the food in that moment, the food that you're going for in the moment. Yeah.
I would just find something else.
I think I was actually escaping from something else when I was eating. So if you take away the food, I'd be just having to look at that and look at that without the distraction of the food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was on the phone well, it's happened a few times, so, but this one time I was on the phone, and it's very often that I'm on the phone with family, and I end up in the kitchen eating. It's like a trigger, like oh, my mom's calling. Get up. go to the kitchen. Something's gonna help me deal with this stress here. Yeah, so I'd be alone talking to my mom without my friend, the cashew.
That would be amazing to just make a list of what you think, like just pause the moment, see if you can find it, listen and see if there's a list about why you need extra fortification talking to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
What is she? What is that? What's happening? What do you expect of yourself? What does she want? What's happening?
Much.
Yeah.
So if you need help, I'll give you my daughter's phone number.
And it's great to notice, like we do the thought, I can't handle this, but just watch how it comes in. It might be right there in the background. If all food was taken away in the moment, that's a good one, Laura, in a way. It's like if it's just dropped, I shouldn't eat this. Bam, let's say your wish came true, but just to see what's there that I don't like. And it doesn't mean eating it isn't okay. We're not doing it as like a thing to secretly make it so that you don't eat something. But just seeing what's there. What's the present moment like? That kind of had this thing running that seemed like it's a good idea to go eat something. It can even be just the thought came through, just thought comes through. Hey, eat something.
So it's interesting because I'm doing mine on what happened to me this evening. So I was driving home and had to stop at the store and grab something. And while I was at the store, I said, I want to go get some fried chicken, like in the deli, right? Some like chicken tenders. And so I walked my little butt, my big butt, whatever, over there, and there were none. And so it was interesting because it was there, like I had no options, right? My option was taken away. So then I wrestled with, okay, am I righteous because I'm not going to go find something else bad, or now I have to figure out what I'm going to eat at home? So it was just a fascinating paying attention to, okay, this is really what happened. And then it was, am I good or bad, good or bad? Good, like in every choice after that, like, gosh, can't I just be? So, yeah, interesting.
Oh, that's so interesting. I love it that it actually happened. Yeah. Because just sometimes an urge or a craving appearing, like a thought appearing and a craving and just like a scenario, and having that there, we can't imagine. It'll just be impossible or intolerable to not follow it. Because an urge can feel pretty strong. It's like sort of whatever a craving is. And I'm going to have to suffer. There's a lot of suffering. It'll just keep returning. It'll bother me and obsess. Somebody said obsess. It'll just turn up the volume on it. It'll get worse. So that's a good one. Can I absolutely know it's true? And who's talking? Who's saying that? What else is here? So I shouldn't eat it. Shouldn't do that. Really is a wonderful thing to see what else is going on in the moment. There's this idea about eating and not eating, and just seeing what I think of the situation outside of food, separate from that. Sometimes you can notice if it's one of those, the very common time, like empty space, unscheduled time. There you are, and or you want unscheduled time. You'd like to not be doing something. There's the list, but without the eating as available, there's the list. So it's like I'm not allowed to rest. I'm not allowed to just not do anything. Can't just sit down and stare at the wall. Not do that. Like the moment's a little bit sour, so it needs to be sweetened. The present moment is a little bitter. Or what would be chicken tenders? I love it. There's this moment needs a little tenderness. That's a good one. Yeah. So something's a little hard in the moment. Okay. And okay, so if you saw it like Dee did, oh, there I am, I'm with my mother talking on the phone, or whatever, or the list that I should do, or whatever, noticing something. It's okay if you don't even necessarily know, but that can be beautiful to come back to it with the inquiry. What else is happening? What else is in my mind? Because that mind just gets so full. All right, so I shouldn't eat it. Anything else with what happens when you believe the thought? I think you all said, but I just notice it's very tight. It's a tight, I shouldn't. It's got kind of a tightness to it, right? It's like okay. So, who would you be without the thought? I shouldn't do that.
I was just thinking that I shouldn't eat it could be a very loving thought too. And I'm taking care of myself in a different way. So
True. Yeah. So that's good to notice. It can be, yeah, there might be a turnaround where it's like, yay, shouldn't eat it. Absolutely. Yeah. So just without the thought, I shouldn't eat it, you can pause too and stay without the thought. I mean, noticing all that rebellion people were mentioning with the thought, right? It kind of fuels it sometimes a bit. So if it's just really, really, that's just not there, that I shouldn't eat it. This shouldn't be happening.
I wouldn't be eating it.
No. Isn't that something? Yeah. So without the thought, I shouldn't be eating it, I wouldn't eat it.
I wouldn't be in that situation I wouldn't be feeding the cycle. It
Wow.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I'd be eating when I was hungry and eating as peaceful. Not that eating white bread with jam on it's not peaceful and fun. But in this situation, it wasn't,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because I said I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So if I took that away, or if it just didn't exist, then I'd be simply noticing if I was hungry. If I was hungry, I'd be eating, and if I wasn't, I wasn't. Maybe I just wanted some. Who knows?
Hmm.
Without the thought, for me, I'm just eating food. There's no moral judgment to it. And so it probably goes back some to what Laura was saying, is that I'd be eating it if I was hungry, and I wouldn't be eating it if I weren't. Or if I were eating it for some other reason that's not necessarily bad, I'd just be eating food. It would all the electricity would be gone from it.
Hmm.
That this holds the key to my goodness or badness isn't there. It's just food. And then probably I'm able to say, oh, I guess that's what my body wants right now, so that's what I'm gonna have. Or like, yeah, there's just no moral judgment to it.
Awesome. Well, it's nice. You can actually check in with your body. It's like more awareness of your body. What is my body actually, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's, as I was saying that, even more what you said, Laura, made even more sense to me, because it's like, without the thought, I'm not in the situation, because it's not that I'm not eating it, it's that I'm not in the situation where I'm eating it when it's right for me. It's not like, but that whole cycle isn't there of good, bad, should, shouldn't. So you wouldn't be there. Without that, it would be a totally different situation.
Okay, what if we were all walking around, you had like all these little angels, like 15, that had like plates and bags and all your kinds of favorite food, and they're always walking around with you every minute of every day, and even like standing around near your bed at night. So it's just they're available to you the minute you need. You'd be kind of like, okay, you guys just back just a little bit. I'm busy right now. I mean, you come along, but it's not necessary to be right, every minute. How about you, Dee? Don't forget to unmute. Yeah.
There we go. So without the thought, well, without the thought, it's I don't have this expectation that I should be doing things differently. I mean, this is the way I've been doing things forever, for what seems like forever, and so yeah, I'm just imagining. I can't say that this is what would happen because I haven't had the experience, but I would imagine that I would be a bit more conscious and a bit more aware of the pain, like, and not trying to kind of eat through it because I'm rebelling, not putting it down. It'd be more like, this is painful. like I can stop this. I can put the cat, I could put it down, and I just think I would have a bit more awareness to what I'm physically doing.
That's kind of sweet. It's not an expectation that you stop necessarily. Like, there you are, a woman doing what she's done for a long time without the thought, I shouldn't do it. It's like mother calls and we go get cashews. But you kind of see, and maybe and I like how Jess just said, I'm just eating it. There I am. There's a person eating.
Mhm.
And there might be more. There's like a little openness, like, oh, human being eating, or yeah, just noticing. And maybe I don't like noticing a hurt, whatever hurt is, you know, the sensation of pain. And they just relax that or something, you know, oh, that hurts. Yeah, I just find there's a lot of freedom, choice without the thought I shouldn't do it, totally free to do it or not.
Mhm.
So I suppose the turnaround, well, I should do it if I am. If I thought it, if I'm only at your moment is like Teresa, and it's just at the thinking phase, I should think it because I thought it already. You're not really in charge of your thoughts, but you know, that's just watching the patterns. I should think it. I should do that. I should eat it if I started eating it. If we're looking at something where you ate something, I should have eaten it because I did. And then also just seeing what it provided. Was there something interesting about it? You may be getting to find out that bread and jam isn't always great. I don't know. Is an interesting.
I find out it's not killing me. It doesn't give me a headache. But I also do it because it's who I am right now.
Yeah. I'm the
And it
one testing out some things that are like even childhood foods that I thought I shouldn't eat. You know,
right.
I'm just checking them out. Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't find peace if I'm always at odds with what I do. The two can't be in the same moment at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Acceptance. Again, the resistance thing. Resistance is I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to let go of.
Mhm. Remember, I liked noticing, this was helpful to me. Some of you might have heard this one before, but I remembered once being a child, everybody running down to this creek, and because my mother said, come, 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 we're going to watch. And there was a big, big snake, like river snake, eating a frog. It's like when a snake has a big frog, it has to like be very, very slow, and it just keeps on, like it unhooks its jaws and it just keeps on, the head gets big, the mouth is just gigantic, and it's just slowly, like it has to wait and wait. And then the next, you know, and the frog's like legs are like kicking. And we were just like all up on this riverbank looking down, just staring with fascination, but like in nature. So it looks, and then a snake, if you see it eat a thing, it's just then its head is like this, and this giant lump, you know, in the middle of the snake. And then it's just waits for a long time, but it's not thinking, I ate so much, you know, I stuffed myself. I shouldn't have eaten it. I don't know. I was just thinking total freedom in all of nature. There's all the quantities that can be eaten and all the quantities we've experienced eating or not eating, or the flow of things, you know, just without judgment on it. And more like noticing what works and what doesn't. But that's in nature. For me, I liked noticing that, that animals do that, or they have the lions attack something and they eat it, and then they're laying around. But
So I have a question.
hmm
They, in that scenario, or in our scenario, in my scenario, if I find that, okay, this is my path, this is the bulge. It's a really frightening concept or visual, by the way, Grace. But there's a bulge.
Very extreme.
Yeah, you were a tomboy, weren't you? Okay, so, but I find that there's sadness in that reality. Like, okay, this is where I'm at. I accept that. And I'm sad.
Hmm. You can let it, sometimes it falls first, there's like that resistance or anger or self-hatred. And then
Yeah.
maybe like you move through that, you drop down and it's, oh, sad. But even the sadness might be saying it this because I have to just accept this forever. And this is kind of sad. And I did this to myself. I mean, it's got kind of but if you just let that relax, just see what happens. Even that one, like, let's just say it's safe to not have the thought, and it's okay. And thoughts that come in like, this is going to be this way forever. Let's say it's just, we don't know that. So kind of relaxing even below that.
Yeah, there's no sadness there.
Mm.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay,
I'll stay right here.
nice. So I should be eating it, if I am. I do know there's that argument with reality, and then I should be. Then there might be other reasons why, like D. I just thought that was a very sweet little example of like, because when my mom calls, things happen for my whole history with her in that moment, mother, and so there might be some unraveling there about that moment that's just helpful, helpful, not too scary. Okay, it's okay. Should be eating it, and it shouldn't be eating me, and then I shouldn't be eating, or my thoughts shouldn't be, how would you say it, with my thinking? I shouldn't be eating it. I shouldn't be thinking this, thinking it.
The word shouldn't.
Yeah.
I should be thinking this. I should be eating this.
Yeah.
Because I am.
Yes. It's kind of for me, it fits as a turnaround. It's just without the thought completely, and just no shouldn't,
Yeah.
The way we get into what's right and what's wrong. What's right and what's wrong.
I should be eating it because it's teaching me to love myself.
Mm.
It's showing me how hard I am on myself.
Mm. Mm.
I should be eating it because it's tasty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I liked Heidi's, oh, I shouldn't be eating it, like way lighter, like I've been surprised, just shocked at different times, finding out that I didn't like things that I thought I loved. It was just so funny to me. It was just really, but yeah. No, I shouldn't be eating it. But yeah, out there, kind of beyond a should and shouldn't, and just being with the different thoughts and pictures that come in. Very, very interesting, very intriguing, and kind of how it all fits in with whatever's physical matter and food, and taking something in of the world at a physical level, or taking things in, mentally before that. Just having it be okay that the thoughts are even there. Yeah. I can find it too, like an example. I should eat it. Who knows what life would have been like if I wasn't. I had all that, such suffering, and all that feeding. Just like really, like physically hurting myself. So painful, but I don't know maybe what the alternative. I didn't have any kind of self-inquiry, so maybe my thoughts were so crazy about life and the world and everything I would have been like paranoid or schizophrenic or something without my binges. I don't know. I can kind of find it like they were wacky, but they kind of had a beginning, middle, and end, and then I could still do other things. So who knows? Yeah. Anyone have anything else you want to add?
I do. I when you're saying that, I found it true for me that it's kind of like I've chosen to use food rather than other things, because it's somehow it's unacceptable for me to be a drug addict or a shopaholic or something. That's just unacceptable for me. Mm-hmm. And even though being overweight is painful, it is like from all the evils like a choice. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's been useful. It's had its use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And who knows, like you might be thinking, at least thinking and believing, that if you like really had that just wiped out and there was no option, you might, who knows what would come out with your mother based on what you believe. It's kind of like sometimes, I don't know, but you can question all those thoughts that you have, but yeah.
So it all comes down to safety for, like when, as soon as you go back, you say, go, let that go, let go, it all goes down to, oh, am I safe? Am I okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, everything's okay. Like Laura said, oh, she's okay now. Yeah. Like, it's just going down there, getting there.
Yeah. And it is so, I love that you mentioned that. I say it so many times over and over, that sense of lack of safety, but lack of safety with my own thinking and emotions, and like even anxiety. Abby mentioned anxiety sometimes, just watching that. I'm just not going to be safe. I'm not safe in the moment in this world with the list I need to do, and other people aren't safe either, or whatever, just watching, that's a great one to, who would I be without the thought? Who would I be without that thought? There's something threatening. And it can be quite amazing to see a big craving. We'll think the only way to end the craving is to eat something. It's the only way, because that meets it, and it, like if you have a big craving and then you eat something, the craving's over. Oh. And it's not the only way. It's really, really interesting. So many of us don't want to even test it, though. It's so intolerable to like watch feel like a craving, like you're going to go crazy or something, like you're in a rocket that's going up in the gravity. Have you ever seen those in the movies? Like, you'll be shaking. Oh my God. I'm going to be shaking around by the craving, and I'll explode or something from the G-force. But letting it be there, and then seeing what other thoughts are, just starting to write or talk out loud, talk to see what it is you think about the moment. Really can let the steam, let the pressure off. So yeah. All right. Beautiful work. Wow, so awesome to be with you on just watching. So thank you all. Look forward to more. Yeah. Lots of love, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care.